Peter had gone up carrying the same hope that Ben had given voice to, that Tom wished he could feel. Only Peter had had the courage to put the hope to the test. Maybe he had gone up to the Stroud estate to see that, after the weeks and weeks of blasting and the noise of construction, convoy after convoy carrying massive loads, there was now nothing to worry about there. Of course, no one had ever come right out and said they should be worried about the estate. But even so, if whatever might have been there had left, if it was all just ordinary ground up there, that would be something, wouldn't it? Something worth looking into. If you had the nerve. "What should we do?" Harriet asked. She looked worried. Being even older than Ben, she'd had that much longer to live with all the unspoken fears of Durstal. That made a person fragile in the long run. And she had taken a maternal interest in Peter since his arrival 5 years earlier. If Tom could spare her something, he should. "We'll look for him," he said. "Oh, thank you," said Harriet. Tom opened the door of the inn. "You come in and have a warm," he said. "I'll fetch my jacket and Ben and I will be off." Harriet went in willingly enough. Ben looked grim, but willing too, ready to take on the responsibility Tom had accepted for the two of them. The two men climbed up the road to the estate. The iron gates were shut and padlocked. The estate would not have them. Tom didn't want to insist. He looked at Ben, who gave him an unhappy shrug. "I don't think he's in there," Ben said. "But even if he is, we're not going to be able to find him." "No," Tom agreed. They had come up here because they had to start somewhere, and he had hoped they'd meet Peter coming down the hillside. No, hoped was the wrong word. He'd wished that would happen. "Where now?" Ben asked. "If he's in the village, he's fine and he'll turn up," Tom began. "While we catch our death of colds tromping up and down like fools." "Maybe." Tom wished again, this time for such an outcome. It would make a story to laugh about afterwards. But if the vicar wasn't in the village... "I think we should try the cliff tops," he said. Ben nodded unhappily. Midway back to the village, a path branched off from the dirt road and wound back up, making a wide detour around the wall of the Stroud estate to finally come to the top of the rise, and onto the open moor that ended at the sheer drop down to the sea. A mist began rolling in well before they reached the moor, and by the time they did, visibility had dropped to a few dozen yards and was growing rapidly worse. "We'll never find him in this," said Ben. "We could be right on top of him and not see him." "We can at least try. I'll sleep easier knowing I did." Ben grunted. "There speaks a man expecting the worst." Tom didn't answer. He started calling for the vicar. Ben joined in. They walked forward carefully, conscious that they were drawing closer to the cliff edge. They called Peter's name, waited for an answer, then called again. The fog gathered around them, turning the landscape into gray, fading dream. The sound of the waves crashing against the base of the cliffs grew louder, a cold and relentless answer, a slow rhythm of mockery. They heard the vicar just before they spotted him. His cry of, "Tom!" sounded mournful. A few steps later, Tom could just make out Peter's shape in the fog, moving back and forth erratically, much too close to the drop. "Vicar!" Ben shouted. "Stop where you are! We'll come to you!" Peter did not respond. He kept moving, jerkily and too quickly. They hurried forward and caught up to him with less than 10 feet between him and the edge. The call of the waves boomed. The vicar walked with a harsh, determined gait, at odds with his direction. He took 10 steps, jerked to the right, went 5, jerked